Good afternoon. My name is Kent Wallace. I am a part of 3 Dozen Roses, a singing group from Youngstown, Ohio. I got involved with singing growing up in the Kimmerbrook housing projects, listening to my mother, my aunt, and they were great singers. My aunt was opera trained, my mother also. And so I just knew singing would be a part of my life. 14 Karat Gold, I believe was the name. Those guys, Bill Greer, Ronnie McNeely, and there was another guy in the group I can't recall. But, just those local guys like that, Jerry Hester, those guys, I really watched and, kind of try to emulate, and I wanted to be a singer. And definitely Philip Bailey from Earth, Wind & Fire, that was, my guy. And so, yeah, that's what I wanted to do. The energy around the variety shows was very hype. Everybody got up for it and wanted to be involved, especially when I got over here and moved to the South Side. And I was big on the East Side too. When I went to Lincoln School, even at Harrison Elementary School on the East Side. Then when I got to Lincoln and I went to East, variety shows was a big thing. Groups, singing groups, dance groups, but mainly the vocal. When I moved over here to the South Side in 1977, I knew of my friend Bishop Starkey, who was going to Hillman at the time. And so we thought about forming a group a little bit after I've been here for a while, but we decided, I think Hillman was having a variety show, and they, said, hey, let's try to get a group together. So we got together, me and Bishop primarily, and then Scott Ivy came on board, and then there was another guy named Kenny Gillespie, but I don't, he didn't, make it with the group. So we just stuck, with the 3. And so we decided that, we would form a group. But a good friend of ours by the name of T. Johnson, he, told us about this song he had heard by Smokey Robinson. It was called 3 Dozen Roses. And he said, that sounds like that'll be a good name for you guys. And so, hey, we loved it. We all loved the name, and so we just stuck with the name, 3 Dozen Roses, and that's what we've been. These guys I grew up with, came to love. Like I said, I've been knowing Bishop probably the longest. I've been knowing Bishop since I was probably 5 or 6 years old. And so, but we formed that group and we became family. And so I loved it. And we started at the Hillman Variety Show and moved on up to South because we knew, the whole excitement around singing groups at South High School, we want to be involved in that. I mean, we kind of, was very popular, coming from Hillman. Everybody knew, that we had this singing group and that we could sing. But after, that 1980 variety show is when we really became pretty popular at school. And so, in other sides of town, they knew about us also because we sung at East Variety Show, we did Rand, then we had the All City Variety Show. And so, but that year that we won, we sung, I believe, a song for Donnie, and then we did Chocolate Girl by the Whispers, which is probably one of our staple songs, Chocolate Girl. And after that, it was all love. We was hitting the ground running. We did the Buckeye Elks and things of that nature. We got, we were asked to sing at the 1980 senior prom. And so, it was a big thing for us at that particular time. We thought we were something, but, but by the grace of God, we was able to do those things, and I loved it. We all loved it. Doing the All City variety show, it was just huge. Youngstown, back in the, late 70s, early 80s, variety shows was a big part of Youngstown growing up. And talking to the guys, they said, hey, let's try to do it again. Let's see if we can get the old band back together. But, you know, I'm excited about it because it's been 45 years, you know, since we've sung. That probably wasn't the last time we sung 45 years ago, but I'm saying in terms of variety show activity, you know, it's been 45 years, and I can't wait to, you know, re-engage with these guys and just enjoy this particular moment, man, because, you know, time not promised to nobody. And so, you know, we thank God for this opportunity, and we're going to give it the best we got.
I love skating because it gives a really good exercise for everybody. It's fun, it's cheap, something to do on a weekend or even during the week, because today is a Tuesday night. So, you know, everybody can come together. We can all do the same thing because we love it, and there's nothing better.
I enjoy skating because first of all, it's really fun. Secondly, here is a great community of people that just want to see you get better. So everybody's helping everybody, and there's so many different skate styles to learn and become proficient at. So it's a really good time.
We want everybody to experience it, everyone, because it's a dope experience. Like, without this, we really don't know what we would do. So I never stop. Like we talk about it all the time. Like, I would never stop skating. Hopefully, like, if you see people out here that all ages, like all ethnicities, like, you would see that, like,
80-year-olds.
It's 70s, 60s, 80-year-old people out here still skating to this day.
It just sticks out in its own way. And honestly, people from across Ohio come here. We got people from Pittsburgh right now skating on this very floor. Like, it's a lot of diversity. Everyone comes, everyone has fun. It's always an enjoyment.
So everybody that you see here that got on their own pair of skates that they own, like, we take it serious. That means we invested in ourselves, you know what I'm saying? So if this didn't exist, I feel like for us, like, it'd be heartbreaking because it's so close to home, but we'll definitely expand ourselves to go and still do it. That's how much we love it, you know what I mean? We ain't never gonna not skate.
Well, I've been coming here my whole life. My grandma and my grandpa used to bring me here when I was younger. I've had birthday parties here, and it's still the same, like, nostalgic feel, so I love that.
Like, man, without it, I wouldn't be who I am, for real. It saved my life. And I promise you when I say it saved my life. It was going through crazy times, and when COVID hit, it was on top of everything else that was going on, but skating saved my life. And I owe it to God, because it only can be God.
More than just an honor, because of the very essence of it represents. I don't stand on the strength of my own, but for those who helped me to be who I am. My community, my village, the ancestors who are no longer with us, but championed me as a little kid, saying that you can make it, and you're going to do this, and you can make great things. And I believe that I represent them. Those families, those individuals who no longer can speak because they have now been silenced by death, but we give their memory great life and vibrancy. And so I'm honored. I'm just, honored just because those individuals, heroes and sheroes of the Valley, both living and those who have passed on, make our community great. So I'm honored to be the inaugural Grand Marshal, and look forward to those who shall come after me, that they also have that same passion for community to do what we know we can do. Whew. Well, first, I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge my grandmother, who raised, nurtured me, and made sure that I had exposure to the community. That would be my grandmother, the late Mrs. Ora McCain Barrett. She was the executive director for Hanson Community Center, which was operated by Associated Neighborhood Centers, which now manages McGuffey Center, just by way of history. She was a social worker in the Kimmelbrooks, and she literally, by her example, showed me how we need to meet the needs of our community. She also taught me how social policy impacts the quality of life of others, and how to get around it if it's a policy that's unjust by government, or how to advocate for that change. How to get around it, I'll say, for example, the summer program had free lunch programs, but they could not give the food away. Could not give the food away. but they could throw it away. So my grandmother had some galvanized trash cans with liners. So if the kids didn't like the milk or whatever they didn't like the food, whatever, they didn't like it, but it was edible, it was good for them, she let them throw it away. And then she would just collect it, make sure it was, and again, they were galvanized trash cans established solely for that purpose. So the food was good, it was great, but families were able to have milk, were able to have resources to feed their children even during the summer. And so she taught me that. The policy was crazy, she said. Why throw the food away when you can't give it away? Well, after I throw it away, I can do what I want with it. And that's how she taught me how to deal with policies. She also taught me how to advocate for your community without your community being scarred. For example, and I have to share this experience because, again, if you talk about who I am, it's because I've seen her. She didn't want to, young kids were always young kids, had conflict, have challenges. Well, what they would do is when they have a fight, my grandmother would, quote unquote, call the police, rotary dial. She'll call the police. She'll pick up the phone, dial it, and she said, "This is Mrs. Vernon S. Barrett at 1402 Wright Drive Avenue. I need 2 crews out here meeting. They acting food." And she'd slam the phone. Well, what they didn't know was because they cleared out the place because the police was coming. She was calling our house. I was answering the phone. I was watching the electric company or Zoom, and I said, "Oh, Grandma, just put them out the center." Her goal was not to have the police involved, but for them all to get home safely. That's amazing. Those kids to this day who are now grown folk never realized that was what she did. Those kind of behaviors I realized and I've embraced. Also, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the ministers. Reverend Lonnie A. Simon, he was certainly part of that, giving me a space and a place to be able to use my gifts. But there was also some other unsung hero pastors, such as Reverend William Nixon, whose brother was the one that put Dr. Martin Luther King in the forefront of the civil rights movement. Do the history, his brother. And that's why the church, Ebenezer Baptist Church on the east side, is named that. It was because of his relationship with Dr. Martin Luther King. That church is on Hill Street on the east side of Youngstown. Reverend Theodore Cotton, again, of Kimmerbrook Baptist Church. He started in Hanson Community Center. He literally built that church, but he was the one that when I needed to go to speech competitions or events, I didn't drive. My grandmother could not drive in the winter or would not drive. I'm not exactly sure which one it was, but in any event, he would pick me up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning to take me to severe speech meets. He'd wait as much as in the cold to wait to make sure Lewis got there. He always said, "That's my boy, you're my boy." He always encouraged me. So that village reminded me that I had to give back, just as folk sold into me. I would be remiss. To this day, I always talk to my children about, there was a lady named Mother Gregory, Viola Gregory, who is the grandmother of, you probably know, Reverend Gregory Jones, called Bugs. One of the reasons why I'm alive, first of all, is because when I wrecked my grandmother's car, it was a kid, when I took the keys when I shouldn't have, she just told my girl, don't, he was just trying to be helpful. And I said, "Get dressed and go to church." Oh yeah, I found God that day. Yes, I did. But one of the things that she did that was so important, that was so demonstrative, the year I graduated, that was 1984, she gave me a card. I still have this. It was a beautiful card. And in that card was a $20 bill. You have to understand, her resources were such, that $20 bill was like $2,000 in my eyes. And the fact that she was willing to sow that kind of resource into Louis. The card in of itself was more than enough. But I realized that $20 was a tremendous sacrifice for her to give to me. And to that end, I knew that I owe it to others to make sure that I pay it forward. She didn't just give me a gift, she invested in me. Because she wanted to make sure that I went to college, I went on to do the things that she believed I was able to do. And I thank God she lived long enough to see it. So you ask, who influenced me? It's so many members of this village who literally, made a way to this day. They made sure I got the scholarships because they knew that we didn't have the wherewithal. I was the first generation, didn't have the money or the resources, but they made sure I went to college. And yes, I graduated debt-free. Didn't take out no loans, anything, because my village sold it to me. So yeah, I'm passionate about those things because why? The community could have said, let them figure it out. Or maybe not, but they didn't. They said, we believe in you. And I believe that's what our generation needs to hear more often. We believe in you.
Does it hold in your heart?
Oh, I first learned about Juneteenth, I would say, it's interesting. I went to Woodrow Wilson High School. And Wilson, at that time, was one of the only schools that had Black history. Yeah. Mrs. Sandra West, she has since passed. Her name was Dr. Sandra Ponzo. And she talked about and taught about Juneteenth. And it to give me the institutional knowledge and history to realize that, wait a minute, how did they not know? Because folks censored and limited information. That's why I tell everything I know, because I don't want people to say because no one told us or somebody restricted access. That's why they were able to be kept in the condition that they were in. Because someone said, if I limit or restrict the information, they'll continue to act as if all things are the same. And so that's why it is so important for us to tell the truth, empower our people. There's too much apathy. Too many folks have sacrificed. Check out the movie, the song Strange Fruit, because we have too many folks that have died, even for us to have the privilege to vote, and folks just simply treat it as it don't matter. We're dealing with the situation we have now, not because of folks who voted for either candidate. We're in the situation for the folks who didn't vote for no candidate. That's why we're in, because folks don't understand the power of their vote. And when you lose the power of your vote, you lose your voice. And you lose your voice, you lose the vision. It is my hope that there is a sense of joy, celebratory expressions, that we'll have fun, we'll have reflections, and it will be the community literally pouring out into the streets. With all the detours and all the road closures, we're going to open up the heart of the city of Youngstown, and we're going to make our presence known and felt in the heart of the community and say, listen, this is us. This is our time. It's our season. And we want to not only walk in our liberation, we want to also inspire our new generation, the emerging generation, to come forward, come forward. This is not a time to keep the children home. You come out, you bring your children. And that was one of the things I was taught as a child by behavior that was taught to me, that was caught. I went everywhere with my grandmother. If I didn't even feel like going, she said, bring a book, you're coming. Too often we're allowing young folks to stay home. They can watch their game, play on the game or on their phones. No, you need to tell them, put it down. You're coming out here because why? This is about us. And so too many elders are coming without them. Bring your house. Get engaged. That's one of the things, even though I'm the Grand Marshal, it is the Macklin family. They already galvanized. They already understand that first of all, you can't separate me from my family. I won't let that happen. But my family understands that we come as a unit, and families need to say, we're all showing up. We're all showing up, and we're coming out to celebrate the first of many Juneteenth parades in Youngstown, Ohio. That's exciting. It is exciting. And so what do I want to get out of it? I just want to get out of a great, great time and great reflection and memory. I hope that the city of Youngstown will take great note, and that we come out and show up. And this is not the time just to simply say, well, I want to watch the parade. No, you need to say, make plans to be in the parade. And then, just make it happen. Just make it happen. And so I'm trying to stock up on my candy now because, a Grand Marshal shouldn't become empty-handed. So those of you know I love Reese's Reese cups. You might, if you stay close to them, I might be able to hook you up. But we want to be there. We want to show the strength of who we are and our people. And I'm just grateful. I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge those, because even though we had the Juneteenth in our community first, Before there was a Juneteenth, there was African Cultural Weekend, and I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge Lynette and Ron Miller, the late Ron Miller, Sababu. If I didn't acknowledge Ron Daniels and those individuals who, again, who tried to enlighten us and to empower us and equip us. Don't be ashamed of your blackness. Wear it proudly. And that's why I want my children, I want my community to celebrate that. No one else of other cultures are sensitive, or they'll tell you, kiss me, I'm Irish. You know, kiss me because I'm an African-American strong black brother. I challenge you. Come on, love me. And so that's what I want people to say. Come on out and celebrate us, embrace us. And although it has connotations of it being an African-American experience, it is part of the American legacy and the fabric of our community. So you need to come out, everybody. Don't sit this one out because I ain't black. That's a poor excuse. That's all it is, an excuse. Juneteenth, 2026, homecoming. Join me.